day, everybody. So, as some of you that I spoke with and promised, we're doing an episode today, cooking with the Frisbees, and we're cooking Australian lamb shoulder. And I wanted to show you what we had here. This came in a big net. And this was actually one big piece. So what I'm gonna do is, we cut this, and we're gonna truss this one up and cook this one today. That's a lot of meat. This would have been a ton of meat, and I would have been cooking for a house. So we're gonna do this one, we're gonna truss it up. There's a recipe that calls for it to be cooked flat, and this one, since it's a flatter piece, we'll do that at some later date, but we're gonna go put this in our vacuum sealer, and we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna cook this one on the charcoal grill. And Beth is going to make a mint sauce. So I just want to begin that. I'm gonna go out and I'm gonna start the charcoal grill. This is actually coming up to room temperature. We got home a little later than we thought. About 15 minutes, I'll start the charcoal grill and we will get going. See you soon. So, here's Beth working on the portion of lamb shoulder that we decided to cook. And we're just gonna do something real simple. She's just putting on some basic salt and pepper, making sure that we season the inside before we truss it up. And then with the mint sauce and all that, we're gonna cook it fat side down with a drip pan underneath, because all that fat's gonna render up. And then we're just gonna monitor it. So just want you guys to see how simply seasoned this is going to be. And we don't know. Again, this is the thing that we do. We try and offer ideas to people. We try new things, and we see how they work out. So stay tuned. One mention I have to make, and I wasn't a believer in this, but the other piece that I said we were just going to put in a vacuum sealer, if you don't have a vacuum sealer, they are not that expensive. Just go ahead and get one. I mean, you simply cut the bag, you put it in, it sucks out all the air. I write on it. I put this thing in the freezer now. This is one of the greatest things I ever bought, Beth, and I love it. So, just want to make a mention. Hey everybody, we're back. The grill has reached 300 degrees, which is where it's recommended, between 275 and 325, because the research that I did said that the fat has to render and responds better to a higher temperature. So as you can see what we've got here, we've got our roast shoulder, and Beth looked up on YouTube. You can find anything on YouTube, how to truss this up. So she did it a couple times, but she did an outstanding job. So what I'm gonna do before I even put it on there, just so that I make sure I do this right, is I'm gonna go ahead and stick this thermometer in. And I'm thinking, honey, probably like right about here. And just stick it into the center like that. And we want this, they said they want it to reach a temperature of 145 degrees, and then it's done. So now that I've done that, we open up my smoker. I'm not gonna forget to put my pan, because I'm either anal like that, or we're gonna end up using some of those drippings. I'm gonna take my lamb, and I'm gonna sit it right here in the middle of this rack. I'm gonna pull this out a little bit so I can make sure it doesn't come out. And we're at 300, and not sure how long it's going to take to do it. It's going to be pretty delicious. I'm thinking maybe a couple of hours. The beauty of the Masterbuilt is I can now monitor the internal temperature without ever opening this thing. So you guys stay tuned. We're going to be back to show you how it's going. Guys, so we are actually right at about an hour into it. I started at 300, but the internal temperature I thought was rising too fast for a shoulder, which is a tougher cut of meat. I want it to be tender. So everything that I saw and everything I read is low and slow. So I took it down to 265. So it's been like that for 30 minutes. So Beth always tells me to leave things alone, but I just really can't resist. I want to see what this is looking like. So we're just going to take a quick peek, and I wanted you guys to see what this looks like after an hour. So you're seeing it as I see it. So I think it's starting to look really good. I really do. I think it looks good. There's not a lot of drippings in the pan. which means that the fat's not rendering down. I don't know if I need to turn it up. I don't know. It's an experiment. This is what we do on Cooking with the Frisbees. We try and bring new ideas and new things to you that you might be afraid to try. I'm afraid to try it, but I'm getting a little bit more adventurous. I rely on Beth to help me with a lot of things. And I rely on YouTube. So that's where we are. We're just gonna keep going. I think I might even take this down to about 250 degrees and we're gonna go from there. I'll come back. Hey everybody, so I'm back. And I made the decision, I know I talked about it on my Facebook Live about searing this thing, but it says it's done. I'm gonna go ahead and pull this off. We're about an hour and a half into this. The internal temperature reached 140 degrees. Let's take a look, see how it came out. I mean, I think it looks good. What we did decide, what Beth and I did decide, is we did flip it over, okay? And now we start to see a lot more drippings down in the pan. So I'm gonna flip this over so you can see it. And it did start to render it down a little bit, but you know what? It didn't get the char on it, but we can't treat this like our lamb chops. So I'm gonna go ahead and hopefully I can pull that out, because otherwise I'm gonna burn my hand. No, I can't, but I'm gonna go ahead, I'm gonna put this on this plate. We're gonna figure out how to get that probe out without me burning my hand. And I wanted you guys to see how it came off the grill. And then Beth, like I said, has some parboiled potato wedges that we're gonna go ahead, I'm gonna turn this up, we're gonna put them on the grill. I'll come back when we cut into this. Like I said, everything's an experiment. I'll take the guesswork out. Guys, give me suggestions. Hey everybody, we are back. So this has rested now for about 15 minutes. Beth went ahead and, as we talked about, did potato wedges on the grill afterwards. So those look really good.
Look at Bentley.
Yeah, I think Bentley knows what's going on when we do this Cooking with the Frisbee stuff. So right now I'm releasing the trusses that Beth had put on there, trying not to get my hands too messy. Like I said, you guys see this as I see it. There was a lot of juice that's coming off of here. I think I've got all the trusses. I'm going to go ahead and quick wipe my hands. Nobody made any suggestions about how you're supposed to slice this, so I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to start here with the end piece. So let's start cutting into this. I've sharpened my knife. Let's see what this is starting to look like. Well, I gotta tell you, that is looking mighty fine. So I would be very remiss if I didn't do this. It's still pretty hot. And didn't give my camera person a sample.
Thank you.
And if I didn't take a sample, so let's see how this tastes. I think it's cooked perfectly. I would put a little bit more salt on it. You know what though, but you have to cook things so that your guests get to add what they want. Maybe not. There's more salt flavor coming through as I chew on it, but I can tell you, I think this is cooked really well. And look how juicy this is. It's not rare. I think 145 was the right temperature to go to.
I didn't taste the smoke on it.
You taste the smoke, which is why we use that Masterbuilt. The smoke flavor is ridiculous. So I'm gonna say this was an absolute success. Guys, go ahead and give it a try. I'll post a video. Give me comments if you've done it. If you got suggestions, I'll take every suggestion. I'm just cooking for the common person in the world. So this is the conclusion to Cooking with the Frisbees. Guys, have a safe night.